And we are live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the preview of Chelsea versus Leeds United. Joining me today is someone who I've been on spaces with a lot. Her name is Cody. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm good. And also joining me today is my co-host and a regular on my podcast, Fahim. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Nippin, doing well. Hopefully we get the win, but at this point, I just want a goal. At this point, I don't even care about the win. I just want to see a
You want
goal.
to go? Are you going to the
Just a
game?
goal. No, goal scored.
Oh,
We've only scored one goal.
sorry,
I
it's
just
your
want to see a
accent.
goal. That's
It's
it.
your accent, Fahim.
Oh, that's my accent. Apologies.
Sorry. And let's get into the comments. Big up yourself, Niall. How are you?
Yeah, big up to now.
Hi, Niall.
And so, how confident are you? Well, I don't think I need to even ask Fahim. How confident are you going into the game, Cody?
I think with us we're in a very much a transition period. So we've had Jesse Marsh sacked, and then we had a couple of games, 3 games under our caretaker manager, Michael Scaballa, in which he did really well in the games against Manchester United when we played them home and away within the space of a week. The performance was much better and the team looked more united, but we went into the game at Goodison Park and we were absolutely appalling. And then most recently we beat Southampton at home. But as you said, for him, scoring goals is just not our favourite. And I think whoever gets the first goal on Saturday, they'll probably go on to win the match. And then the recent performance at Fulham, you're quite near neighbours. On Tuesday was a good performance. I think that one of the goals was ruled wrongfully off. And I saw some good improvements in our game, but it's hard. I think I won't ever say I'm confident going into any match at the moment because
in our form, Cody, we have it.
I know that you've not been in the best of forms, and I know in terms of your goal scoring, there's that statistic that's going around that says that Real Madrid have scored more goals in England than what Chelsea have scored. And
Fred, both Brazilian. Foe.
So, I know that that's something that's going around at the moment, but Leeds are Leeds, and it would be so Leeds to lose on Saturday.
Look, it's basically who can score less goals, basically, on Saturday. That's literally what this game is. Who can score less goals?
Yeah, we're not great at scoring ourselves, to be honest.
Well, Dr. Chelsea, if you're in a goal-scoring drought,
Charity FC.
Charity FC.
We're going to gift goals.
There are 2 Charity FCs in London, and one of them's in South London, near Croydon.
Who's that? I don't even know.
Crystal Palace.
Oh, Crystal Palace. Okay.
Are you going to Are you travelling to London for the game?
Me? Yeah. 6:30 start in the morning, so early start, and I've only just recovered from getting back from Fulham at 4 a.m. on Wednesday morning, so it's a bit of a trek to West Londons in a week, but it's what you do.
Why don't you just book a hotel?
A hotel's expensive in London. No, thank you.
Oh,
no. I would not want to pay £200 a night.
I would have gotten you a discount.
It's all good. I don't mind.
Fair enough. So yeah, we'll discuss whatever I put after we finish the live chat, by the way. So how confident? Yeah, I've asked Cody this. Fahim, how confident are you going into the game?
Do you want to give me? Do you want to give me like a scale of confidence levels? Because
Up to you.
0. Or if it has to be negative, negative. Because we can't even score goals. How are we gonna win unless Leeds score an own goal? That's the only way I can see it. Like if Leeds score an own goal, yeah, I think that's how we'll win the game. But other than that, I don't see us scoring any goal. I don't know how long Graham Potter will be in the job because it's.
I don't see it. I see I've said this before. If we lose tomorrow, no, sorry, if we lose on Saturday, and then we get knocked out of the Champions League, I think he's gone because there have been so many reports saying that Todd is now having second thoughts about keeping Graham Potter as the manager. Dude,
I don't know.
Boris Johnson / Donald Trump / Rory Jennings.
I don't know. I think
we shouldn't have hired him in the first place.
I mean, this game is kind of important for both teams, not just for Chelsea, but also for Leeds fighting relegation. We can't keep dropping more points, and then we're also fighting relegation if we keep losing and dropping points. But...
No, you won't be fighting relegation. There's a lot of teams that are a lot worse than you this season.
100%.
But you've got to think Leeds lost recently against Everton. And look at Everton. Yeah. Apart from at Leeds, like they can't buy a win. Like they can't.
I mean, we lost to bottom of the table, Southampton.
Yeah, managerless Southampton.
And they actually deserved it. That's the worst part. They deserved that win because we didn't even deserve to score. Like,
I shouldn't be laughing because I support the.
It's laughable. It's laughable at this point.
I mean, look, if you don't laugh, you will tear your hair out. Well, I haven't got much hair left anyway, so.
No, but it's the case of we spent so much money and I don't see an improvement. We might as well not have spent that much money and kept the same team. But the fact that we spent so much money in the summer and in January and yet there's no improvement, it's a concern. It's a massive concern. I don't know what it is. Well, obviously, one of them is Graham Potter managing this squad because it's clear that he's just not got it. He's not got it at this level.
In my opinion, I don't know if either of you two agree with me. I mean, like putting club banter aside, he's a dead man walking. If we just keep our football hats on and take our clubs out of it.
But realistically, Leeds have obviously just recently sacked Jesse Marsh and they've obviously appointed Javi Gracia. Who would you realistically appoint? That's a question that's a question that you've got to ask.
Well, the majority
it's easy to sack a manager, but it's not easy to appoint a new one, especially at this stage of the season. And that's what you've got to think.
Yeah, look, I completely agree with you, Cody. But there are so many.
Who would you want then? Realistically, who would you want?
That's
only one person that's completely out of the question until after the next Euros, and that's Hansi Flick. But Luis Enrique is open to the job. He said he's ready to go back into management. I wouldn't mind Luis Enrique.
My problem was initially we sacked Thomas Tuchel, because they didn't see eye to eye. Okay, fair enough. All right, new owners didn't see eye to eye with Thomas Tuchel. I wasn't happy with that decision. It happens in football. It happens. But the fact that they appointed Graham Potter, okay, at the time it actually seemed like a good appointment in terms of a project. But the fact that we gave him a 5-year contract was ridiculous. 60 million contract was ridiculous. 12 million a year. He's like one of the highest paid managers in the Premier League, and he's not really proven much to earn that contract. And that's all on the new owners as well. I've been making this opinion that these owners have made so many mistakes, and they're trying to hide from it. They're trying to hide and trying to say, "Oh, look, we're backing the manager." But realistically, I think they know they screwed up. And then you're seeing all these PR reports coming out saying, "Oh no, we're still backing Graham Potter."
They're backing the manager.
I don't think they're backing him. I think it's their ego. Pretending that they're backing, but they know that they screwed up, and they're just hoping.
You could tell by the owner's face that didn't you see his face after the Southampton game? It's like he's getting sacked if he loses the next 2 games. That's the message I was getting by Todd's face.
I don't see him getting sacked. Maybe in the summer, but I don't see him getting sacked this season.
Yeah, maybe
unless we go further down in the table fighting relegation, but I don't see him getting sacked, honestly.
Jesus. Wow.
I thought he's
Anyway, to answer your question,
I'll hide it for you.
I'd take Luis Enrique in a heartbeat.
Do you think it was a mistake getting rid of Thomas Tuchel, who is in fact got 35% of your points that you've got in the table, even though he was sacked all the way back in September the 6th?
100%.
I would think so too.
And I remember the time when our own fans were saying Tuchel out for Potter in. That time I couldn't believe it. Like, yes, we lost against Southampton, we lost against Leeds as well that time, but I knew this season was going to stink because of the fact that we lost certain players like Rudiger. We've lost Rudiger, we lost Christensen, we lost certain characters in the squad that were important, and we needed to replace those leaders. And look, Rudiger was actually second in command to Tuchel. Like, Tuchel was the head coach, and then you had Rudiger, who was like the leader.
There was German bias doing its thing, though.
Huh?
Do you not think there was German bias doing its thing?
No? What do you mean? How is it German bias?
Both Rudiger and Tuchel are German, so he's making him his second in command.
No, but you saw Rudiger's character on the pitch. You saw how he led on the pitch. He had the mentality. You saw it. So it was clear. I don't think it was bias or anything like that. He even played Aspie. Like, he rated Aspie very highly because of his leadership, his experience. So I think losing Rudiger was a massive thing. But I knew this season was going to stink, even if Tuchel was going to stay. I knew it was not going to go on well. But the fact that we sacked Thomas Tuchel for Graham Potter, it was never. I always had like this weird feeling that this was never going to work out. But I don't know. I could be proven wrong, but it's not looking good right now.
So for him, anyway, before we let's welcome someone else to the chat. Vaughan, hello. He says hello. Well, lads and lasses, I'll correct you there.
It's all right. Don't worry. I'm one at lads anyway. I might as well be.
Fair enough. OMG! Look what Potter's.
Vaughan hasn't seen me for a long time. That's why.
Why is he using?
Oh my goodness.
No, to be honest, I think it looks like one of the funnels from Titanic.
What? This?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. I mean, if it sounds.
Speaking of Titanic, we are the definition of feeling Titanic.
He's still going on with this McTominay talk. I don't want McTominay at Chelsea. No.
To be fair, Scott McTominay is not a bad player.
I don't know. I think he's
physical.
Very average.
It's physical. It's very tough.
Yeah, I mean, he's got physical attributes, but I just don't think he's good enough to play for Chelsea. I don't know why Vaughan keeps mentioning McTominay to Chelsea, or why I don't rate him in the Scotland squad. I don't think I think he's just a very average player. That's it. Okay, that's it.
Average isn't bad though, because not everyone will end up being like Frank Lampard or Michael Essien. Or Bastian Schweinsteiger.
What was the question?
No, as in, like you were saying, McTominay is an average player, and I was just saying not everyone will have the chance to be world class.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, McTominay, he's a good squad player. That's it. I don't think he should be Man United starter level. I don't think he's that. I mean, you can tell the difference. Casemiro and McTominay, you can see the levels. Casemiro is clear. It's absolutely clear.
Yeah.
But that's not like, McTominay is a good player to have in the squad.
Initially, but I don't know if you remember when he came, he was actually on the bench for McTominay.
Yeah, but that was at the start.
Yeah, fair enough. So I would get you onto this stream, but this is a preview between Chelsea and Leeds. But so if this was the podcast one, I'd happily let you on and debate Fahim about this.
Oh no, I don't want to debate with Victoria, please.
Yeah,
It's
because
gone on for too
Fahim's
long.
going to win it.
Huh?
Fahim's going to win the McTominay debate.
No, it's gone on for too long, man.
Casemiro is incredible. It's like watching a magic profiterole tearing the league off. I would say it's more like watching Nah, it's fine. Yeah, because we know McTominay is shit. And we know how United have improved under them. And I say that with the most bitter taste ever. Because I think we all... Who do you hate more for him? Man United or Liverpool?
I don't know. I would say I don't know. Like this is they're both annoying. So I'll probably say
United
Liverpool.
because they're more relevant right now because they're more of a threat.
No, Liverpool. I'm going to say Liverpool, to be honest.
Okay. Last time ask Cody how shit McTominay has been against Leeds.
Against Leeds, he's been good.
He loves playing against Leeds. But to be fair, what players don't love playing?
I mean,
against
like,
Leeds?
does that not surprise you? He's a boyhood Man United fan.
I don't mind the banter. I can take the banter. I give the banter enough, so I can take it. Like that's honestly fine. Like he has played good against us, and to be honest, I'm glad that we didn't have to face Casemiro twice in this. In the league. Luckily, we were banned for our matches because he had a bit of a bust up with Will Hughes and thought it was funny. But yeah, I'm glad that we didn't have to face Casemiro because Casemiro is the difference. Manchester United have gone through their transition period, and that's what you're going through right now. You're going through a transition period of, a new owner, new direction of the club, and there's been Manchester United and Arsenal who've recently had to go on a bit of a dip, and now they're coming out the other side of it. And it probably will happen to Chelsea. It will happen where in the next 3 years, I'm sure you'll have rebuilt. But I don't necessarily agree with the way that you're doing it and financing it and doing all these 8-year contracts. I don't think they're particularly good and good business.
I don't know, Cody, because
it's a way of
keep them for as long as possible. Like for example, sorry, you go.
It's a way of avoiding not breaching FFP. You're doing it to be crafty. You're not doing it to keep these players and avoid other teams coming for them. You're doing it to avoid FFP sanctions and things. And it's just not. It doesn't look good. Like it doesn't look good that you're getting ripped off, and people know that people and teams they know that you're willing to pay that much money now, so that they're going and asking for a markup against any player that you're after, and it's only going to get worse.
Look, the thing I'm going to say about that is that look, you're absolutely right. Like, say if Leeds had gone in for an Enzo Fernandez, they probably would have charged you half of what they charged us.
Well, we wouldn't have gone in for him. We ain't got the money for that. We're not that rich. Unfortunately, we haven't got that money. We wouldn't even pay £35 million for Cody Gakpo, who obviously went to Liverpool in the end.
Oh, your namesake.
My namesake. I've got a couple of namesakes at the moment within football, which is quite nice. But yeah.
The nationality. You're Anglo-Irish. He's Dutch.
Well.
You did say you were half Irish, though.
I'm not. I've got a tiny bit of Irish. I mean, not nothing significant.
Oh, sorry. Your name sounded Irish.
No, it's all right. Don't worry about it. But yeah, Cody Gakpo. What we were going to get him. And our owner basically came out on Twitter and said, "Oh yeah, that's happening," and we didn't get him. And then we ended up settling for Willie Gnonto. which I'm not too disappointed at £3.75 million. I think has been an absolute steal for us. He's 19 years old, so he's still got a chance to develop, and I think he's done really, really well. I think he'll cause you a little bit of trouble, but I think not that much. I think he's quite a quick team, so his pace is not going to bother you, because I do think him and Somerville will probably play with Aronson down the centre. So yeah.
Speaking of causing you problems, which player do you fear the most from Chelsea? Like, as in, like, if he's at his best, I do not want to play against him. Like, say you're a defender, and you think, "Oh my God, if this player's at his best, I would not want to face him."
I'm quite glad that it's rumoured that Silvers might be out for the game.
I meant like attacking wise, like say
attacking wise. To be fair, this one's not because I fear him as a player or anything like that, but it's because he always does something against us, and that someone is Mason Mount, and you're gonna sit here and be like, what the hell? But if you look at Mason Mount's statistics against Leeds, he generally almost always scores, and it comes back from his Derby days, when obviously played for Derby down in the Championship, and we had that battle of the playoffs and stuff like that. Don't like to speak about that too much. But Mason Mount, he loves playing against Leeds, and if he doesn't start, he'll probably come on and score.
I don't know. I don't think he will start, first of all, because
I don't think he will. I think Joao Felix is obviously going to start.
He's fallen out of favour with the manager for quite some time now.
Yeah, to be fair, I think Mason Mount will believe in Chelsea at the end of this season. I think he's going to probably go and, try his luck somewhere else. I don't know where that somewhere else will be, because I don't know whether he's going to be good enough for somebody, like one of your rivals, for instance. We all do hate Leeds. Thanks, Max. We all hate Leeds to come and all that. Yep, that's right. Go on.
Well, I'm sure you hate Hull City as well.
Yeah, they're not relevant to us. Who are Hull City?
Max.
Don't know who they are. I do know who they are. Just before anyone comes at me,
I just thought it would be a Yorkshire thing. That it's another Yorkshire team.
Yorkshire, Hull are not Yorkshire. The Humberside, the Yorkshire wannabes. They're definitely not Yorkshire.
I thought Hull were East. I thought they were the East Riding. No, East Yorkshire.
And Humberside.
Okay, you would know more because you're from up there.
Invite me, lol. No,
Chelsea only.
But yeah.
To the preview. Oh, okay. We are. You and Cody can debate this one day. Okay.
It's all right, Max. It's all right. If you want to think that you're restructured, that's fine. I'm not going to take too much joy away from that. Thanks for Liam Cooper as well. Much appreciated.
Was he Hull City as well?
He played for Hull at some point. Yeah, Liam Cooper did. Not that he's doing much on the pitch, but he's a really good presence off the pitch. He's a good leader to have around. He's definitely not Premier League quality in terms of being a centre-back there anymore, but I do think he's good in terms of having him around, the ground and the complex. And, since losing Marcelo Bielsa, which is still a hot topic amongst many Leeds fans.
Yeah, you were happy about that. I remember you went on a real rant on Twitter.
Yeah. I wasn't happy about it. Still not happy with the way that we dealt with it. I could see why they sacked him. I weren't very happy with his replacement. I'll be honest with you, but at the moment I'm quite happy with Javi Gracia. I think he did a very fantastic job while he was at Watford. He came in there all the way back in 2018 when they were 10th, and they just sacked Marco Silva because Marco Silva had interest elsewhere at Everton at that point. And then obviously he took them in his first full season and only full season to the FA Cup final and made Watford finish 11th in the table, which I thought was fantastic. And then in his season after that, he only had 4 games, and because he lost 3 of them and drew 1 of them, he got the sack. Watford owners are like that though. Watford owners don't hang about and they sack people just for anything. So I'm not too disappointed with Grazia. I think he's a likeable character, and I think he's very much adaptable as a manager. So most managers come in and they've got this formation that they want to play and they won't adapt to what players that they've got. Whereas I think Grazia is adapting to what he's got. He's not got the world-class players, you know, the players who have like been really expensive. He's got players who, you know, are they're okay. Some of them are better than others, like Max Fober. He is so crucial to our back line. And then we've got Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams, who are both really good in central defensive midfield together, because we generally play a 4-2-3-1 at the moment. And then the front three, we're probably playing Nonto, Aronson. That's a debatable one, whether he plays Aronson or Rocker there. And then he'll play probably Somerville. And then I think he will start Bamford, but bring Ruter on after about 60 minutes, depending on the scoreline at that point. But the back 4 is our weakness. So we've got Ayling, who I absolutely love. Luke Ayling. I think he's been an absolute credit to the club, but he's struggling with the games. Like, obviously, we've just played Tuesday, so it's like Tuesday, Saturday. It's hard for a player to do that, especially at his age. So I think we'll have Ayling, Cork and Verba, which I think them two are developing a great centre-back partnership, and I think they're starting to get that understanding of each other. And then Junior Firpo. Junior Firpo is a player which a lot of Leeds fans have doubted. Me, myself, I've doubted him at times, but he seems to be prospering and coming into his own a little bit now. So hopefully the back 4 will be quite settled going into the rest of this season. And obviously we'll have Melier in goal. I think that's one place where we've both got we've both got a little bit of problems in terms of like goalkeeping. I do think both of our goalkeepers who are fighting out for the number 1 spot, they both struggle. And Melier is great at shot stopping overall, but he sometimes his distribution and coming off the line too soon, that's his frailties, and that's why we conceded against Everton.
I have a question about what's his name, not Luke Ayling, Melier. Do you see him as a future France international, like placing not the under-19, like getting a call up from the senior squad?
Yes, he's still relatively young. He's for a goalkeeper. You've got to think it's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Alan Melier. He's just turned 23. He's super young for a goalkeeper. He's already kept 30 clean sheets at Leeds, which I think is fantastic because, let's face it, Leeds have had leaky defences all year. This year, and in previous years, we're known for having a leaky defence. Yes, there was an attempt for Leeds to get Carlos Cobran back to being the manager. We offered him an 18-month contract, and he wanted a longer contract. I'm glad that we didn't get Carlos Cobran back. I think we really need to push on and try and move on from the whole Carlos Cobran, Marcelo Bielsa era now, and push on and move forward from that for me. And Carlos Cobran, since signing a contract extension at West Bromwich Albion, he's struggled. Their results have not been the best. I know that he's won 1 game since doing that. So
I'm surprised West Brom are doing so badly this season.
They're not doing that badly. They're around. They're fighting for the playoffs, and they were around the bottom of the table. I
was going to say they were in the relegation zone at one point.
In the championship.
It's something I never thought I'd see. And
it doesn't surprise me. It happens to us all. Like, I think this is a problem, and this is a misconception that like fans of the top 6 or, you know, whatever you want, European Super League 6 or whatever people want to call them these days. This is a problem with those teams. What they do is they don't see how it is in the Championship, in League One. You know,
I watched the Championship, Cody. I watched the Championship.
we've been down there very recently in the Championship and in League One, not that long ago in my lifetime. I started supporting Leeds when we were in League One, so I've been through it all. I've been through the highs and the lows, as I say, and you know, it can happen to any team. You're never too big to go down. And I think if Everton goes down this season, that'll be proven. Everton's never been relegated from the Premier League. They've never been relegated.
And you know what? And you know what? If they go down, I do not see them coming straight back up. I have a funny feeling once they're down, they're spending a good 2 to 3 seasons in the Championship before they come back up.
It very much depends on their owner situation and whether they'd come back up. They'd be getting the revenue and the sponsorship because of their new stadium. Their new stadium looks like it's going to be in a fantastic setup at 55k roughly. And I do think it'll all depend on their ownership model and who's their owner, of whether they'd bounce. But to be fair, they've got to go down before we even talking about Everton coming back up. Because I'd be worried if Leeds finish below Everton in the table. If we finish below Everton, I think we're relegated, personally. I think there's one team that I would say at the moment I am almost certain will go down. But yes, I do think that they will go down from what I saw of them, the fact that we beat them.
I even said in the podcast before before the season began, I said that this is the season Southampton get relegated.
Mm-hmm.
And people literally laughed at me, saying, "Oh, they'll find a way to nah, they're getting relegated this season."
I think they possibly could, yes.
Bobby says Everton were relegated around 70 years ago.
I know they were relegated 70 years ago. I was on about the Premier League, not when it was called the old Division 1. I know that they've been relegated and they've seen Championship football or Division 2 football as it was back then. I'm very aware of that. But what I mean is the Premier League. There's only two teams that have not been relegated from the.
From
the Premier League, there's a lot of teams that haven't been relegated from the Premier League, but Arsenal are the only team, like you said, to have never been. They've never seen any.
Yeah, pains him to say because he supports Tottenham. Well, it pains me as well.
I don't have any strong hatred towards Arsenal, to be honest.
Yeah, look, me and
I didn't mind them, to be fair, especially when.
Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, they get away with a lot. Anyway, so I always ask this question most of the time without fail. Sometimes I forget. I always ask my guests what made them support the team they support.
Okay. My dad.
So he led you into it as a baby, basically.
I was pretty young, yeah, and it was my dad who takes me and took me then back then. Still takes me now, to be fair. But yeah, me and my mum and my dad go to the home games together.
So it's a family thing.
Yeah, very much so. And then away games I typically do with friends. So
if you have children, will they support Leeds as well, or will you let them choose?
They're not choosing. Are they tough choosing? No way. They'll be supporting the local team. That's what they'll be doing.
Okay, so say if you move down to Southampton, will you make them support Southampton?
I wouldn't be moving down to Southampton. No way. I'm too nervous for that sort of stuff.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've always said this when it comes to who my children will support. My firstborn won't have a choice. But whoever's born after that will. But why does Nippon support Chelsea and what's his what? Big up No, yeah, like I said, if My firstborn will support Chelsea. Anyone else after that can choose. But yeah,
Interesting.
what got me into Chelsea is, have you heard of Zola?
Yeah.
Gianfranco Zola.
Yes.
So
Very much so.
I just love the way he played football, his techers, his technique. So yeah, he got me in love with the club as well. You know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. Fahim,
Mm-hmm.
what got you into Chelsea?
Well, my brother, older brother, used to watch. Well, used to. I mean, they can't. I don't know if he still watches Chelsea, but the time he was watching Chelsea, um, I enjoyed watching Frank Lampard and Drogba. Them two were like the two players that I just enjoyed watching. So yeah, and then I supported them. I support Chelsea. Blue is also my favorite color as well. So
Fair
that's
enough. Well, green is my favorite color, but the irony is my favorite team in Scotland is
Rangers.
Rangers. Do you see the irony in that? Green's my favorite color, but I support Rangers.
Why did you support Rangers?
Because we do you not know the history between Chelsea and Rangers?
Not entirely.
We got their kid from them,
Oh, okay.
and plus Rangers gave us what's his name? He's now at Brighton. Billy Gilmore.
Yeah, Billy Gilmore.
And the funny thing is, we took Billy Gilmore from Celtic.
No, Rangers.
No, as in Rangers took Billy Gilmore from Celtic.
Did they?
I think so.
I thought he was a Ranger. No, I don't think so. I think he was a Rangers.
Oh, I'm probably getting confused with someone else who Rangers took from Celtic. No clue.
No, he was. Oh no, no, you're right. Yeah. He played for. What? I didn't even know that. The heck? He played for Celtic, like very young, very young.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you to the Green Scum for giving us. Who's your team in Scotland, Cody?
I don't bother with that.
Yes,
Nah.
for most Chelsea fans, it's Rangers.
Well,
Rich,
for me,
Rich, you did join at the wrong time, yeah. to put that right. It is Chelsea versus Leeds.
Yeah, it is. And so I always ask this question as well in previews. What would your two lineups be? Two meaning like with the lineup you think the manager will choose, and your personal lineup.
So, to be fair, I think they're very similar. I would have Melier, Aylan, Cock, Weber, Firpo, Adams, McKennie, Somerville, or Harrison. I don't know out of them two. One of those two. Aronson, Nanto, Bamford.
And
Good, confident about avoiding relegation. No. As a Leeds fan, you're never confident about avoiding relegation. You never. It's Leeds.
I think if Leeds get a win against us, that could actually save their season. It could
potentially, I think it'd help our confidence going forward, 100%. But we've got a long road to get to where we need to get to. In all honesty,
of course.
That's a funny comment.
Confident of avoiding. Yeah. That is a question for Fahim. Are you confident of avoiding European football?
What does that even mean? Like confident? What does that?
I think what. Yeah, go on.
So what he's wanting to Fahim, what he's trying to say is, are you not going to get top 7?
We're finished.
Or win the Champions League.
No, none of that's happening, Vaughn. None of that is happening. We're literally going to finish outside European football, and I think that's obvious. It's obvious. Like the fact that we've dropped points against teams that we should be beating, and then the upcoming fixtures is looking peak. It's looking really, really peak. We've got Liverpool coming up. We've got Man United coming up. We've got I think play Man City, Arsenal. Like we've got tough teams coming up, and we've literally dropped points against the teams that are below us. Some of them obviously above us now, but I think we're not getting any European football next season. And I don't think we're winning the Champions League unless we sack Graham Potter. But I don't think we're winning the Champions League.
Now, look, regardless of whether we sack him, we're not winning it.
No, but I think people try it on. Like I think some Chelsea fans try and pretend that this Chelsea squad is like bad. It's not bad. It's a very good squad, and it should not be at the position where it is right now. But look, I think Graham Potter is not really getting much use of the players. And for example, like we lost against Tottenham Hotspur. Why did we see Koulibaly start? Why did we see Ziyech start? I thought these two players are not meant to be the future for Chelsea. And you have Badiashile on the bench, you have Madueke on the bench. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't actually make any sense. I don't get the project when you're not really using the players like Madueke, Badiashile over them. It doesn't make sense.
Badiashile, he was only benched for one game.
Yeah.
And that was against Tottenham. Maybe Graham Potter went into that game thinking, it's Tottenham. They'll bottle it anyway.
No. We don't have the right to say that now, man. We don't have the right to say, they'll bottle it. We were terrible in that game. We weren't good. Tottenham weren't even that great either. Like we were
worse. They weren't great.
Exactly. We were worse. Which is it's shocking. It's just absolutely shocking. But yeah, what can I say, man? I've been repeating the same thing every single time. I think this season we just have to. I don't know. It's just unknown what's going to happen in the next few weeks. Don't even know. I don't know when our next win is. I'm not even confident that we'll beat Leeds or I don't know. We could even lose that game, but I don't know when our next win is because our next few weeks of fixtures are just not looking good. They're looking very tough.
Well, only time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Raheem, this will be a little more straightforward for you. Your personal lineup and what you think the manager will choose.
My personal lineup: Kepa in goal, right back. I'll play like four at the back. Or would I play 5 at the back? I don't know. I'll play 4 at the back. Reece James, Silva's injured, so I think Koulibaly is probably going to start. Fofana. Fofana could start. Fofana, Badiashile, left back. I'm still going to play Chilwell, even though he didn't have a good game against Spurs. The midfield, I'll play Enzo. I don't know if Kovacic will be back. Maybe he'll be back. If he is back, I'll play Kovacic. If not, then it would have to be Loftus-Cheek. Unfortunately, even though I just don't want to see that happen. Don't want to see him starting, but Loftus-Cheek and Enzo in a double pivot. I think, you know what? Graham Potter is probably going to start Mason Mount. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts Mason Mount in this game. So I think he will start Mason Mount I think he'll start him on I actually don't know. Maybe he'll start him on the
light. Mason Mount is going to start this game.
I think he will start. I actually have a feeling that Mason Mount will start.
He's seen the light. He's not starting.
I don't know, but I think João Felix didn't really perform well against Spurs. So I think there's a potential starting position for Mason Mount against Leeds. But I wouldn't personally do it. I'll still play Felix, attacking mid, Madueke, Mudryk, and Aubameyang. Aubameyang. We need
Aubameyang
goals.
on the bench before he wasn't even in the squad.
It's very weird like how Aubameyang's been treated. Like we need goals, and we're playing Kai Havertz up front. The guy can't shoot. The guy cannot strike a ball. I don't understand why he plays striker all the time. And whilst we have a goal scorer in Aubameyang on the bench, sometimes in the reserves, it makes no sense in reserves bench. But that would be my personal lineup. But the lineup I think Graham Potter will go for, I think Kepa, Reece James. I think he'll play Fofana and Badiashile. Left back, I think he'll play Kukurea. Pivot, probably be the same. Attacking mid, I think he'll play Mason Mount. I think he'll also play Madueke and Mudryk and Kai Havertz up front. I think he's going to do that.
Right. I'm going to echo that Potter lineup. But my personal lineup, is Kante still injured?
He's back fit, but I don't think he's going to be ready to start.
All right. I'm going to go with Kepa in goal. A back four of Badiashile, Thiago, Reece, and Chilwell. I'll go with a midfield pivot of Zakaria and Enzo. My attacking three will be Jean-Felix on the left, Ziyech as an attacking mid, like just behind the striker. Madueke on the right, and then Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang up top. So, since Chelsea are the home team, I'm going to ask Fahim Fahim, then Cody, and then myself. We're going to each give our score predictions. Fahim, what are you saying?
I want to say a win, but honestly, I don't really see it. I think we're going to draw. I think it's going to be a 1-1.
Cody?
As if you're asking me to do a score prediction, I love to do score predictions.
You don't have to.
0-0. In the hope that it's actually not going to be 0-0.
Well, I'm going to disagree with both of you and go for a Desmond.
I mean, Nippon, you always do. You always come up with some crazy score lines.
2-2. If both Leeds and Chelsea score 2 goals, that should be some right odds on that. I want to jump on that. Get a blooming bet on that. If both teams score 2 goals, blooming heck.
Well, we've all gone for draws, but we've all gone for different score lines. Yeah, I'm going for a Desmond. I'm sticking by that. 2-2.
2-2, Nippon. Who scored the goals?
Mount, because he likes scoring against Leeds. Does Sinistera still play, Cody?
He is injured at the moment. Well, he's rumoured to be injured at the moment. Our manager's very, very cloak and dagger about injuries. He doesn't say much, which is good but bad.
So Mount and Felix to be the goal scorers for Chelsea. And I think Bamford and what's the name of that winger you said that you got instead of Cody Gakpo?
Willie Nonta.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's actually very
Willie
good.
Manta, right?
Nonta.
So yeah, I think those two. I think it will be Bamford and Nonta to score for you.
Mm-hmm.
Richard,
I think the one.
Who you're referring to there? Pace and strength. What do you mean by that one? Hi, Huddersfield Town fan TV. How is it having Neil Warnock back? How's that treating you?
Big up yourself, Ryan.
The one player I would say
I think that's a good thing having Neil Warnock back for them. Like they were in free fall with Mark Fotheringham.
What were you saying for him about the one player?
Yeah, I was about to say the one player I'm kind of scared of from Leeds is their pacey wingers like Nonto, Somerville. I forgot who else it was there. There were players against Man United. When I watched that game against Man United, I was like, okay, we're facing Leeds in a few weeks' time. I think they're gonna cause damage against us. And Somerville, Nonto, them two were definitely two players that will gonna definitely perform against us. So yeah, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for them to.
No,
Two very promising players, I must say. Like Nonto, especially. I think he's 19 years old.
yeah, that's correct. Nanto's 19.
And the fact that 19 years old, he's not the tallest. I think he's like 5'4" or something like that.
Yeah, that's
But
correct.
he looks like he looks like he's built for the Premier League. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So I think we've covered everything here. Unless you want to do a combined 11, don't know how many of our players will actually get into your team, Cody.
So for me, if I were to do a combined 11, I would do, if everyone, we're assuming everyone is fit for this, so just for sake of argument. So I'd have Melier in goal. I think he's just been a little bit more consistent this year, and he's obviously not really missed out. He's missed like one game out of the full year. So when I say year, I mean season. I'd have your fullbacks. I'd have Romero and no, not Romero. That's I'm testing your knowledge there. No,
Romero Tottenham.
I know. I'd have James and Chilwell as fullbacks, as no problem. I'd have Silva and Wober as my centre back pairing, and then in the central defensive midfield positions, I would have. This is hard actually. I don't know much about your new signings, to be fair. I don't know how they are and
Did you watch the cup final?
I've watched a couple of your matches, to be fair, but I don't really know much about your defensive midfield pairing.
If you watch the World Cup final, that should tell you all you need to know about Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, probably would have him in, to be fair.
I would say Enzo and Tyler Adams or McKennie, one of them two.
I think Tyler Adams is good. Yeah, I did one of his poorest games in the Leeds shirt on Tuesday night. So yeah, and front three, I would probably go with Hazard. Not Hazard. Havertz. Good.
Havertz? No.
No, I'd have Havertz. Hear me out on this one. I'd have Havertz on the left side. All the right. Right, just hear me out. Hear me out. And then I would have Felix in the middle, Nonto on the other side, and I'd have Rodrigo up top because Rodrigo's he actually can score goals. Rodrigo, as I said, but I didn't want to leave Havertz out.
Wait, why Havertz?
You didn't want to leave Havertz out?
No, I didn't want to leave him out.
Name your price. You can have him. I'll just drag him off the M1 for you.
I don't want him that much.
Wait, why Havertz on the left though?
I don't know. It can be up left or right. I'm not really that bothered. I'm not precious about it.
That was just a joke, Cody. That was just some playful banter.
No, I know. Don't worry. I know. Don't worry about it.
I would have Aubameyang on the left over Havertz on the left.
Yeah, I love Havertz. Huddersfield. Sorry, Ryan, because of one thing he did in the Champions League final. I will always have a soft spot for him for that particular reason. but I have to let sentiment go, and he's not good enough. Scott McTominay could score in a Champions League final. One would probably want a fucking statue of him built outside Old Trafford. And who thinks Potter out? I'm Potter in.
Wait, are you?
But then I'm giving him 2 more games. 2 more games. And then I'll shift to 70-30.
After that Southampton loss, I was like, he needs to go. But I don't know what's the best solution at this point. I don't know.
Luis Enrique.
It's very easy to say Luis Enrique, but we would have to sack Graham Potter. Like, if we don't have any sort of compensation clause in his contract, we would have to pay out 60 million. That's ridiculous.
There's a...
Hassim, to answer your question, he's been doing gym work. You won't be playing against him, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I'm glad because he always scored against.
Rodrigo is not in.
Zidane's holding out for the France job, mate. So he's out of the question. I'm just moving to my dad's office. Yeah. Zidane's out of the question, unfortunately. He's holding out for the France job. You know what? I don't blame him. Because at this moment in time, who'd want to come to Chelsea? Honestly.
Vaughn, are you kidding?
Pochettino. Are you kidding?
Poch would be good. Don't come at me and say that Poch would not be good for you. Don't come at me and say that.
I wouldn't mind Poch.
Just because of his Tottenham, and because he was there. Don't come at me saying that he won't be good. He's probably the best man, one of the best managers on the market at the moment that is available.
True.
You can't go back to Tuchel. You can't do that.
Enrique though.
You rate Enrique over Poch. Interesting.
I can't not rate someone who hasn't won a continental treble. Not many managers have done that, Cody.
But I think, you know what? I think some people have disrespected Poch a bit too much. He still is a very good manager. I think for our situation with the young players, it might work out well, but I wouldn't give him like a crazy contract the way we've given Graham Potter. I would give him that sort of test. Let's see how he does. And if he does well, give him a good contract. That's it. We didn't do that with Potter. We've just given him a very big contract out of no reason. Just like Tuchel, we gave him an 18 months contract and he did really well in those 18 months. Or is it less than 18 months? I don't even know. But yeah, I would, if Poch is the next manager after Graham Potter, I wouldn't complain. But I just hope they actually plan this out, because before we didn't have the directors in making those manager changes. The new owners made that change. They sacked Tuchel, they brought in Graham Potter. The directors didn't exist that time at Chelsea. They weren't appointed.
I honestly think whoever we bring in will be an upgrade on Graham Potter.
Of course. I think so. Well, no, actually, no. I honestly, I think it depends. If we bring in Thomas Frank, no disrespect to Thomas Frank, but to be honest, we're facing another situation where he might actually be in the same problem where he can't handle certain egos. I think that's the same case with Graham Potter. He can't really manage big players like Sterling, big players like Kovacic, these big egos. I don't think he can handle it, because Graham Potter was highly.
He managed a big ego in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
What, Thomas Frank?
No,
I was talking about Thomas Frank.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
So it depends. I was saying like you were saying there any manager you take right now because they're better than Graham Potter. But I'm saying like the Thomas Frank is one of the potential ones. I wouldn't sack Graham Potter for Thomas Frank. You would have to find someone.
That's a sidestep and a
Yeah.
potential downgrade. If I'm not going to lie, I'm not
Yeah.
going to.
He's a good manager, but I just don't think that jump from Brentford to Chelsea, Brighton to Chelsea, it's a huge jump. You need to build that up. So yeah.
Look, in my opinion, Thomas Frank's next job should be replacing Brendan Rodgers at Leicester City.
Yeah. Or Spurs if Conte leaves next season.
It's unlikely Conte this season.
Hang on a minute. So you're saying that Thomas Frank going to Chelsea is too big of a step up, but Thomas Frank going to Spurs isn't? Why? Why?
Chelsea are a bigger club than Tottenham.
That's not the thing here. There, like it's not about who's got the biggest club. You know,
I think with Spurs, Spurs need a rebuild. Because you've got Harry Kane, you've got Heung-min Son, they need another sort of Poch figure to actually bring in young players and build again. That's how I see it.
And you're not in the same position then, no?
I wouldn't count us in the same position because we spend so much money on big players that I don't see Spurs doing the same thing.
Spurs won't spend money on anything. They negotiate buyout clauses for crying out loud.
Most teams have buyout clauses with players now. It's a common practice. It's to have that security going forward, and it's a good thing to deal with FFP.
By the way,
it's a smarter way than doing an 8-year contract and getting around your accounting principles with depreciation. I genuinely think you saying Thomas Frank going to Chelsea is too big of a step up, but then sending him to Tottenham isn't. If anything, the pressure's bigger at Tottenham at the moment than it is at Chelsea because of the lack of, a trophy. And them losing last night was absolutely shocking. They've got they would have had a very good chance of going on to, win the FA Cup with obviously the two Manchester teams battling with them. But as it is, they've been knocked out.
No, because I only say that because I don't think Spurs, they've not got this. After Harry Kane, after Heung-min Son, I don't know what else they've got, to be honest. And they definitely need a new rebuild. They need a new.
Yeah.
He's a good player. I'd happily take him at Chelsea.
I get what you're saying in terms of a rebuild, but that's what Chelsea's in right now. True. They're in a rebuild. But the thing is, they've splashed the cash. You've splashed the cash.
That's the case. That's the case.
You've splashed the cash, but.
And there's more pressure. There's more pressure because that's the problem Graham Potter is facing. I'm hearing all these reports saying he's got too many players. Too many players have been signed. Big fees. So much pressure. That's why I'm saying that it's a huge jump for Thomas Frank to Chelsea rather.
Yeah, but
say something.
And I get that.
Say something and be the middleman here. I just think Thomas Frank is the Danish Graham Potter.
No.
No. I
think no. You know what? With Thomas Frank, he's got the personality of a top manager. To be honest, Graham Potter didn't really have the personality to be that top manager. But you know what? When he was at Brighton, a lot of people credited his work. I'm not going to forget that. Like he played some good football at Brighton. But with Thomas Frank, I do see some sort of identity. I do see that he has that sort of personality. To become a top coach, you need to have that personality. You need to have that characteristic, almost that shithouse characteristic. But he's kind of got that. But I think he needs to build that up rather than taking that step, in my opinion. So yeah, I think.
And I 100% get that. And I get what you're saying in terms of the step up being big, but I would argue that the step up is too big for Tottenham as well as Chelsea.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's not the fact that it's too big for Chelsea and not too big for Tottenham. Like you're about the same at the moment with how you're performing and how where you are in the table and stuff like that. You're about the same.
Well, Tottenham have been outperforming us this season.
Well, there you go.
I mean,
there you go. So,
but still, outperforming. But none of us are winning a trophy this season. I mean, like outperforming and all that. Shouldn't the aim of elite sport is to win stuff, and it doesn't matter how well you outperform each other in the league, but then you end up winning fuck all.
No, but you know what? With Spurs is that they sacked Pochettino, and they hired an elite manager. Well, they sacked Poch. Then they hired Mourinho, going to the direction of just winning instead of just building like this sort of project thing. Whatever they were going with Poch, they went for straight winning. Then Mourinho didn't work. Then they hired Nuno. Nuno was a flop, and then they hired Conte, which was a huge one. So they need to win a trophy. They need to win a trophy, and the fact that if they were to hire another project manager, they would question the board again. Like, why the heck did they get Pochettino? Why did they not spend the money with Poch?
I agree with you there. I agree with you. And Rich, I know you're the same. With those resources, Ten Hag would have done so well at Chelsea. I think Ten Hag, no matter where I would go, would do well. And that really pains me to say. He's transformed Manchester United from top to bottom.
Pains me as well, because I hate. I don't know if you would agree with me, but I hate United as much as you do.
Yeah, I think Ten Hag's done absolutely fantastic this year, and I think it's transformed Manchester United and their fortunes. And I'm the thing is, I'm a Leeds fan who's not afraid to tell the truth. I'm not a delusional Leeds fan who'll sit here and be like, just because I don't like them, the rubbish. No, that whether we like it or not, they probably are going to come away with probably 2 trophies at minimum. I think they've obviously already got the Carabao Cup. I think they'll either win the FA Cup and or the Europa League. I really am.
Oh my! I might have to mute a lot of United fans if that happens. Anyway, Ilias has a question. Are you interested in Pep Linders? No freaking way. And that's keep him as far away from Chelsea as possible. Oh, and speaking of Pep Linders, Ilias, Liverpool fan, by the way, big up yourself. But please, take Mason Mount from us.
I think Liverpool will get Mason Mount. I've said this before. I think the fact that the owners have...
Go on, sorry. Go on.
No, go on. I was just saying because I'm not surprised that they're looking not just Mason Mount but Kai Havertz. I think them two are 2 players that will be leaving this summer. One of them or both of them will leave, mainly because Felix has come in, has looked much better than Mason Mount this season already.
Okay.
And the fact that the contracts have not been sorted, and this has been going on for a long time now. It's not been sorted. It just tells me they're not willing. They're definitely looking to sell him. They're definitely looking to sell him. And I know a lot of Chelsea fans are saying like, "Oh, you saying sell him." It's not unrealistic. Why would we get rid of him on a free? I think the owners will see it as a chance to sell him this summer. Whether that will be Liverpool, I don't know who it will be, but I think it will be most likely Liverpool.
I think under Klopp, he'd really like prosper. I do think he needs a new challenge. He needs to move out of there. Yeah. Like he really does. And you know what? There's your academy and your academy structure. I really do not agree with. I think you do produce some excellent quality from your academy, and you've probably got one of the best academies in the country. However, the amount of players that just get loaned out and they just get lost in the loan system is atrocious. And this is really controversial, what I'm about to say, but obviously when you were under your transfer embargo and you had no choice but to, use your youth, it actually was beneficial. know,
I agree completely.
and,
Yeah, Reece James.
you know,
Like Reece James was one. He's definitely. I think if we didn't have that transfer ban, Reece James wouldn't be Chelsea's right back. Simple as. He would have
and
been
he's
somewhere
done
else.
good. He's done really good.
Mhm.
Probably still have Aspie as our right back, as our main.
Oh my days. Aspie in 2023. Love Aspie, but he's just not. He's just he needs to. Yeah. Unfortunately, he has to leave soon.
Yeah, it's time to go. Before I think it's time. I think we've covered everything. But before we do that, I also want to give a massive shout out to someone who's no longer with us. Steve Featley, unfortunately, lost his life. I will be making a tribute video at some point. So yeah, he unfortunately lost his life to liver complications. It's something that no one should go through. He was only 28 years old. And I've had the pleasure of streaming with him. And he's one of the reasons I started a channel myself. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be on YouTube either. So yeah, even though you're a gooner, I mean, I hate your team with a passion, but you were such a nice guy. And I will really miss working with you.
I'll join and send my condolences to obviously his family and friends. I'm not aware of who he is, to be fair, or who he was. So, send my condolences.
Yeah, same. I've sent my condolences to Stephen's family and close friends. I've spoken to him once or twice on YouTube, on the YouTube scene, but it seemed like he was a very nice person, very very honest Arsenal fan for sure. So yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah. Anyway, but, I don't know if you saw on your phone, I added you to my podcast DM group, Cody.
Thank you. It's appreciated.
Yeah. I need to get you onto one of the episodes because we haven't got a Leeds representative yet. We have a lot of Tottenham representatives, obviously Chelsea, few Arsenal, but you're the first Leeds rep in our group now.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah. Big up QNTV. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already. So yeah, I think we've covered everything. I'll probably do player ratings after the game. Cody and Fahim, if you want to jump on for that, you're more than welcome. And yeah, with that being said, Cody, where can people find you?
Do you mean like on Twitter? Yeah, at Cody AFC Crocs. I've also got YouTube as well. I make my own content. Just started it, to be honest. So don't know if I'm any good, but just keep going it.
Look, you'll be just fine. I was just like you when I first started YouTube. I'm just gonna promote your channel on my show. And everyone go subscribe to Cody if you haven't already. And Fahim, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, CFC Fahim. You can find me on YouTube as well. I need to start streaming. I've just been busy, but yeah, those are two socials.
Of course. And this is Fahim's channel. Go subscribe to him as well. On the verge of 63k subscribers. I'm surprised you still haven't been monetized, though. Most people are monetized by then.
I'm surprised myself. I don't know why they keep rejecting.
Oh, wait, you don't have enough watch hours?
I don't have enough watch hours.
Wow. Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, NS Sports TV, and all those comments. Sorry, and all those socials below. You can find me on all of them. And yeah, hopefully, Chelsea get the win. Good luck to Leeds though for the rest of the season. But yeah, player ratings hopefully after the game. I'll drop you both links for the games. Sorry, for the stream. You can give your perspective on the match, Leeds perspective, and then me and Fahim can do the Chelsea side of things. So yeah, and then the podcast will be on, I think, Sunday. I think, yeah, 5th of March. That will be the podcast. So I'd like to get both of you on that as well. And yeah, with that being said, I shall see you all in the next video. Peace.